I don't know why I'm even putting this out here, but nights feel heavier when I'm alone, and my mind keeps circling back to the same memories I've tried to bury for years. These aren't stories I've read or things I've heard about. They happened to me, and to this day I still can't figure out how much of it was just bad luck, my imagination, or something worse. They didn't happen in some exotic haunted mansion or cursed graveyard. They happened in ordinary places, at home, at school, out in the woods, settings where nothing should feel off until something shifts, and suddenly the air turns wrong. I'll start from the beginning, from when things were just normal, because that's what makes it all worse. The first time anything happened, I was about 17. Our house wasn't anything special, an old, narrow, two-story place tucked in a quiet neighborhood, with cracked walls, squeaky floors, and drafty windows that always whistled when the wind picked up at night. Nothing about it screamed scary. It was just home. I used to stay up late in my room, lying in bed with my headphones on, scrolling my phone, or finishing homework while the rest of the family slept. That night was no different. It was past midnight, maybe closer to 1. My parents had gone to bed hours ago. My younger brother was snoring across the hall. I remember how still the house felt, the kind of silence that's so complete you almost hear it. I was half drifting off when I heard something soft, like the faintest creak of a floorboard just outside my door. At first I ignored it. Old houses make noise. Wood settles, pipes knock, all that. But then there was another creak, heavier, more deliberate. I sat up, pulled one earbud out, and held my breath. The hallway was dark, but the thin slice of light from the street lamp outside stretched in under my door. I stared at it, expecting to see shadows move across the gap. Nothing, just silence again. I told myself it was my brother getting up for water. But then came this sound, barely a whisper, like someone exhaling close to the door. Not a word, not clear, just a long, slow breath. I froze. My brother wouldn't stand there breathing at my door. My dad would have just opened it if he needed me. I tried to shake it off, but the more I stared, the more I felt like someone was right there, just inches away, watching me through the thin panel of wood. Finally, I forced myself to get up. I opened the door fast, yanking it wide like ripping off a bandage. The hallway was empty, just the dark stretch toward the stairs. My brother's door closed across the hall, nothing out of place. My chest was tight, but I convinced myself it was nothing. I even whispered "idiot" under my breath and shut the door again. But as soon as I slid back under the covers, I heard it. This time not outside. This time inside. A single floorboard groaned in the corner of my room, by my desk. I remember the coldness that ran through me in that exact second, like the blood just drained out of my body. I stared into the dark corner, too scared to move, telling myself I'd left a window cracked and the breeze had shifted something. But then I saw it, the faint shape of my chair slowly turning on its own, like someone had just nudged it. I didn't sleep that night. I sat there with my back against the wall until the sun came up, every muscle locked, barely breathing. When my mom knocked in the morning to wake me for school, I pretended everything was fine. I didn't tell anyone. And maybe that was my mistake, because once you notice the strange things, they don't really stop. Like and subscribe if you've ever had one of those nights where the silence itself feels like it's hiding something. It was about a year later when things escalated. By then, I'd almost managed to convince myself I'd imagined that first night. Stress, exhaustion, whatever. Life was busy, and weird memories fade when nothing happens for months. But then came that night in the woods. It was late summer, one of those humid nights where the air feels thick, and a couple of us had decided to go camping at a clearing behind my friend Eric's house. It wasn't far, just some trees, a fire pit, and enough space for a couple tents. We weren't the adventurous type. We just wanted to stay up all night, roast marshmallows, and talk. The first half of the night was perfect. Laughter, music from someone's portable speaker, the crackle of the fire. It must have been past midnight when things shifted. I don't know if it was the way the fire burned lower, or how the woods around us seemed to get darker all at once. But there was this sudden awareness that the laughter had died down, and we were all just listening. The woods are never truly silent at night. There are crickets, owls, distant cars, But in that moment it felt like every sound had been sucked away. Then we heard it, the snap of a branch underfoot. Not close but not far either. Like someone circling just outside the glow of the fire. We all froze. Someone joked deer, but their voice cracked and nobody laughed. Another snap, this time to the left. Then a slow crunch of leaves, measured steps. Whoever or whatever it was, they were pacing around us just out of sight. Eric grabbed a flashlight and shined it into the trees. Nothing. Just rows of trunks fading into black. But the second he switched it off, there it was again. Footsteps, closer, steadier. I swear I saw something shift in the darkness. A pale outline between the trees. There 1 second and gone the next. "Hey!" Eric shouted, voice shaking. "Who's out there?" No answer. Just silence, then another crunch directly behind us. By then, we were all standing, circling the fire like kids in some primal ritual, trying to keep our eyes everywhere at once. I felt watched. The kind of watch that makes your skin itch, and then, God, I'll never forget this, something landed at my feet. A stick, cleanly broken in half. Not dropped from above, not fallen, thrown, we scattered. Some of us ran for the tents, some for Eric's back door. I don't even remember making the decision. I just bolted, heart pounding in my ears, not daring to look back. Later, when we regrouped in his kitchen, pale and sweating, Eric swore he'd seen someone standing between the trees. Tall, thin, not moving, just watching. No one slept that night. We stayed huddled together until the sun came up, too scared to even go out and grab the tents we'd left behind. The next morning, when we finally forced ourselves to return, everything was as we'd left it, except for one thing. In the middle of the fire pit, perfectly balanced on a pile of unburned wood, was the same broken stick. Someone had placed it there after we ran. I don't camp anymore. And sometimes, when I'm walking home late and hear the crunch of gravel behind me, I feel that same itch on the back of my neck, like someone's right there in the shadows, waiting. Like and subscribe if you've ever had that moment where you're sure someone's watching you. But when you turn around, there's nothing.